So here we are, after all this time, with about a week to go before the end of our presidential election here in the United States. And one of the things I wanted to do before the election was over was to make one more video attempting to make the case for why you should vote for Kamala Harris, even if you are utterly offended and outraged and disgusted by the American policy toward the genocide in Gaza. Which, to be clear, I think you should be outraged and disgusted by. It's unconscionable, the fact that the United States and the Biden administration has enabled the Netanyahu Israeli government war machine to the extent that it has, and that we have been so complicit in the devastation that has been wrought on the people of Gaza, the people of Palestine in general, but specifically the people of Gaza over the last year or so in particular. And I wanted to make a video arguing that even if that is how you feel, and even if that is your number one issue, even if you are a single issue voter and Palestine and Gaza is your issue, that you should still vote for Kamala Harris. And as it happens, this past Friday night on my Ask Away live stream, my buddy Siamak, and actually it's a little parasocial of me to say my buddy Siamak because he is one of my Patreon patrons and has been a supporter of my channel for many years. And I think of him as a friend. I think of him as a good guy, but that's how we know each other. He gives me a certain amount of money every month as a patron of the channel. But he lives in Pennsylvania, and he has been absolutely working his ass off to elect Kamala Harris president of the United States and to make sure that she wins Pennsylvania, which is going to be a crucial state in the election. It's not must win for Harris, but it's going to be a hell of a lot easier to win the Electoral College if she does win Pennsylvania. So Siamak has been not only phone banking, but he has become a phone bank captain and is marshaling the forces of phone banking for the election of Kamala Harris in the Keystone state of Pennsylvania. And he has been doing incredible work. And he asked a question during my Ask Away live stream this past Friday that deals with this very issue, that deals with why you should vote Harris, even if your number one concern is Palestine and the people of Gaza. And I just want to play you that clip from this past Friday's Ask Away live stream featuring Siamak's question and then my response to it, because I think that between the two of us, that says just about everything that I would have had to say on my own about the subject. So please watch this clip from my most recent Ask Away live stream, and please vote in the election. Vote on or before November 5th if you are eligible to do so, and please vote for Kamala Harris for president.
Siamak, who is desperately trying to convince himself the polls are underestimating Harris. Good day, Steve. I continue volunteering with Kamala. It is fantastically rewarding, and when we win in 10 days, it will have been worth it. Go.kamalaharris.com/calls. We still need more folks. Once more, I will reiterate to those who don't want to vote for Harris because of Gaza, and you're reading my mind, by the way. I was thinking about this just the other day. 1, the Palestinians will suffer even worse under Trump. He's said so. 2, LGBTQIA folks will be in danger. 3, women will keep being denied basic and life-saving care. You vote for the viable candidate who is going the closest to your destination. No one is going exactly to your destination. Then next time for someone closer and closer. I understand the desire to end suffering now, but that's not how the world works. People will tell you it feels good to withhold your vote, and it might, but I'm going further. If you care about any marginalized group, it is 100% selfish to withhold your vote when you know, and you do know, the other side is immeasurably worse. for those exact groups. Thoughts? Nothing other than complete and total agreement, my friend. That is exactly how I feel. I don't think there is any excuse for not voting in this election, for not voting for Harris in this election, for voting for Jill Stein or some other going nowhere vanity third party candidate. If you are considering voting third party or not voting for the presidential race this year because of Gaza, which I completely understand, the anger, the frustration toward the Biden administration because of the way this country has enabled Israel's devastation of Gaza, you should be angry about it. I'm not going to tell you not to worry about it or that it shouldn't be or that it's not important, because it is. And we should all be embarrassed by the role that our country has played in it, in enabling it, in funding and arming Netanyahu's war machine. It's disgusting. But you said this, CMAC, and I have made this point myself, I don't know how many times. It's going to be one of two people. One of two people are going to be the president of the United States. And Jill Stein is not one of those people. And Cornel West is not one of those people. And whatever other vanity third-party candidate you favor is not going to be one of those two people. It's either going to be Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Those are the viable options. And if you choose to vote for a third-party candidate, when between the two of them, your preference would be for Harris, and you don't vote for Harris, you vote for Jill Stein instead, because that soothes your conscience, because you can tell yourself, well, Jill Stein doesn't support genocide. You are accomplishing nothing. Actually, no, you are accomplishing something. You're making it easier for Donald Trump to win the presidency. So you're not accomplishing anything good, because as CMAC points out, if the only issue you care about in this election is the Gazan genocide, if you are a one-issue voter and that is your issue, you should vote for Kamala Harris. Not because she's great on Gaza. Not because Biden is great on Gaza. Biden is fucking terrible on Gaza. And Harris will probably be the same. And if she's any better, it might be by that much. But I'm not betting on it. But the point isn't, is she going to be better than Biden? The point is she going to be better than Trump would be? And it is absolutely an unequivocal yes. Biden is better right now than Trump would be. You say, oh, it can't get any worse. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Educate yourself about what Trump has said he would do relative to Israel, relative to the Palestinians. It could get worse. It would get worse. You think Biden has been tolerant of Netanyahu's genocide in Gaza? You think Biden has been way too enabling of Netanyahu? You haven't seen a fucking thing. Donald Trump would not only take off whatever governor might be in place on Netanyahu from the United States and just give him full carte blanche to do whatever he wants with a blank check, but Trump has said he would move to expel Palestinian refugees from this country and block Palestinian refugees from coming here. And he would even try to deport people who are too outspoken about being supportive of Palestinians under the justification that they're favoring Hamas, they're supporting Hamas, and because they're supporting Hamas, then they are terrorist sympathizers, and it's not safe to have them here, so they have to go. Trump would be so much worse for people living in Gaza and suffering right now, for Palestinian people living in this country right now who maybe have relatives or friends in Gaza who are worried about them. Trump would be worse than Harris. And as much as it sucks to have to say, well, I don't want to vote for someone who supported a genocide, if you really want the best possible result of the two results that we're going to have, of one of two results, you need to vote for Kamala Harris. Not because she's great on Gaza, but because she's better on Gaza and will be better on Gaza than Donald Trump. And that's just if you isolate it to that one single issue. As CMAC points out, Trump will be worse for everybody. If you care about anybody in this country, if you care about any marginalized group, if you care about Ukraine, if you care about the environment, you should vote for Kamala Harris, because it's either going to be her or Trump. Jill Stein's not going to win. Cornel West is not going to win. You are wasting your vote if you vote for one of those candidates. It might make you feel better, but how much is soothing your fucking conscience worth? And how many people, how many real people in your life that you care about or profess to care about would suffer under another 4 years of Donald Trump? Would suffer worse than they would under 4 years of Kamala Harris? Vote and vote for Harris. There's no excuse. It's not about you. It's not about your conscience. It's about what is going to be the best of the two possible results of this election. That's what it's about. And if you don't do your part in this election and it goes the wrong way and Trump wins, do not expect me or a hell of a lot of us to have the least bit of sympathy or respect for you. When you could have voted for Harris, you could have helped this out. You could have tried to nudge things further in the right direction. And I don't know, maybe even made a difference in the outcome, depending on how close it is. When you could have done that and you chose not to. You chose to vote for some bullshit throwaway third-party candidate because it made you feel better. I have no respect for that. That is not a responsible thing to do. That is not what a responsible citizen of a hopefully free country would do. So take that into consideration for whatever it's worth. And yes, CMAC, you said I went on a lot longer than you did, but you said it better than I could have. My thoughts, agree 100%.